What's going on, guys? We got some FM17 for you. The first save that I did was with Manchester United, so I thought I'd just share it with you lot. And if you are doing a save yourself, then definitely let me know in the comments below. I just wanted to show you the signings that I made, the tactics that I used, and everything that actually helped me to win the league in my first season. So, in terms of the squad, it's very similar to how it is when you start the game. I haven't made too many massive signings, apart from... Yeah, but we'll mention him later, because I don't want to get too excited. We got Coquelin in from Arsenal. It was a pretty standard signing. He wasn't too exciting, but then what do you expect from a defensive mid? I'm just going to leave him till last because I can't contain my own excitement about him. We promoted a couple of youth youngsters. We got Tyrell Warren here. That 20 determination just makes me excited. Nothing too special. I mean, his crossing is woeful, his dribbling is poor, but his general defensive attributes aren't too bad at all. So hopefully his mental and physicals will improve over time as well. So if he's going to ask me who you should promote, I'd go with him, Angel Gomez, and Rashford starts in the under-21s as well for some reason, so definitely obviously promote him. He's played a bit of a bit part this season, but obviously hopefully it will get better and he'll play more games as we get on. So my starting lineup for most of my games was using the 4-3-2-1 wide. Usually with Coquelin as the ball-winning midfielder, and then allowing Pogba to sit back and play those spraying the balls across to Martial, Mata on the wing. Obviously you can switch up Mata and Mkhitaryan if you want to. They do actually get better. They know their positions better if you swap them. Obviously you need attacking wing backs. This whole bit of the pitch is going to be very void, but if you put the wing backs on attack, then they'll obviously push up towards the centre line, allowing the link between Martial and Shaw to form, which means that you have coverage of the whole pitch. You got Martial on inside forward, obviously, because his attributes are more tailored to being a striker. But I tell you what, this man is not being pushed out for anyone at all, and that's Andrea Belotti, and he's just been unbelievable in the first season. Not in terms of... It didn't score a crazy amount of goals, he got 16 in 23, but by the end of the season he was pushing out Zlatan Ibrahimovic. I nearly didn't even offer him a new contract because he was actually just that good. Obviously Zlatan still had something to offer. I mean, he had still chipped in with... I say chipped in. He chipped in with 18 goals and a 7.17 average in the league, so you can't really ask for too much more. Other players that would kind of stand out, Martial is just very good on Football Manager. Crazy value, but he had a very good season, 16 and 5 in all competitions. Chris Smalling had another solid season. Didn't play every game as much as I thought he would, because I did bring in this man in January, who is just Mr. Reliable, to be honest. Brought him in for a bit of experience, because obviously Bain and Smalling, Smalling's not young by any means anymore, but Bay still cutting his teeth, and I found that when you played Fonte with Bay or Smalling, he always had a very good game, and they also improved rather than playing them with each other when they seem to be more prone to mistakes. You will notice that he's obviously joining Juventus. I did sell him. He is 33 years old now, so I didn't really think he'd be too much used next season, especially when we're trying to retain the league. But his two replacements, so I brought in Laporte in January, and I am looking to build my defence around him and this man, who I've just bought from Southampton for £32 million for an initial fee of 23. Last season at Southampton, he's just had an amazing season. I mean, his defensive attributes, especially the physicals, just look at those physicals. 16 pace, 18 jumping routes, 20 strength. Positioning and determination are decent. Heading is very good. Marking, pass and tackling, not the best, but obviously his physicals make up for that anyway. Just recalled Borthwick Jackson from loan as well. We're going to be playing him next season behind Shaw, just as some backup. That meant that I could free up some transfer budget by selling Blind for 20 million. And the other transfer was Phil Jones to, I think he went to Southampton, so he basically did a nice little swap there. But I will check oh, that's my phone. These are just youth prospects. Always good to have a little scout around at youth intake time to see if there's any decent ones about. The two people that I got from Everton were probably the best. Out, so we got Phil Jones. Schneidlin also went. He didn't really play at all for me. He very much got pushed out by Coquelin in that defensive mid. I mean, you can see he only played 9 games, 5 as a sub, so nothing really at all. Adnan Januzaj, just had no need for him. I mean, I've got Mkhitaryan and Martial. Depay's on the bench. He's just never really going to get a look in. This was just a transfer, one of those that just did not work out at all. He only played 1 game for me, and he was bloody awful. So, at the end of the season, he was injured as well, very injury prone. Regan Poole went for 100k, and then just a few frees of players that I just knew were never going to make it, really. That's my transfers so far this season. Last season we bought Belotta. Just, if you're playing this year, then here's your man. His stats aren't ridiculously impressive, but that work rate, the off the ball, with determination, a decent finishing of 15, and these physicals really make him into a very good player. Danilo, good start off because Darmian was being a bit of a moody bastard at the start of the season, so I thought I'd bring in Danilo from Real Madrid. He's actually at Chelsea now. Laporte, like I mentioned, another youngster who is now doubled his value, so he's not going too bad. The scouting this year is much better. They in your inbox you get every week there's new players to sign in terms of potential to make your squad depth better. We'll move on to the schedule now. So, I mean, bit of a mixed bag really last season. We did extremely well in the league, including this little 2 games lost in 4 months nearly, including a very strange, hopefully down to the beta 5-1 loss against Bournemouth. I think Callum Wilson just turned into Cristiano Ronaldo last season, scoring 28 and 33, which was absolutely ridiculous. We had a decent pre-season, nothing too special. We played the Rooney testimonial without Rooney. He was on loan at Valencia. Started off the season pretty well. Had this little blip where we lost to Krasnodar as well, not my finest moment. But we pushed on. Had a very good run through. This is what won us the title, really. I mean, this 9-1 against Sunderland was, again, presumably because it's beta. I mean, I've never seen a 9-1 in my life, but that's Zlatan getting a hat-trick. Martial chipped in with 2, and even Phil Jones got a goal, so you know Sunderland were bad defensively. But yeah, we had a very good run in the league. We did a bit not so good in the cup. I mean, we got to the semi-final of the EFL. We got beat 4-0 at home to West Ham, and Zaza looks like a very good player this year. We also had the Euro knockout was disappointed again, going out to St Etienne, who obviously... And I didn't put out an awful... I mean, this side should have been enough. I did start Angel Gomez and Rashford. Maybe that was a mistake, but I'll learn next season, and I'm hoping really to build... The signings that I'm making are hopefully going to be strength in depth, so we've got enough to go for the Champions League and enough to compete for all of the cups as well. We secured the league here with a 2-0 win against Stoke, so that was with 3 games to spare. So yeah, we really did do well in the league last season. I don't know if you can actually see how many points we won it by, but I think it's about 10 in the end, so I was pretty pleased. I'll just run you through the tactics. So this is my main tactic. Scored a lot of goals using this tactic as well. This is mainly when I was at home playing kind of those 8 to 20 teams. The top 5 or 6 I used a more defensive formation, but I'll look at that in a minute. So you had Coquelin and Pogba just holding. Shaw would have been on attacking, and so would Darmian. So you had these two bridging the gap between winger and defence. And Coquelin just acted as the kind of that classic ball-winning midfielder, just winning the ball, get it to Pogba, and Pogba's passing stat, I think, is very, very nice at 17, so got good vision as well, so he's a good asset to have in your team. Obviously, if you don't want to sign Coquelin, you could have just kept Schweinsteiger anyway, or Schneiderlin. Any of the two would have been very good as a ball-winning midfielder. But Mata, again, this year on FM is just very, very impressive in terms of how many goals and assists he gets. Just seems to be quite mad how many goals he manages to produce. I haven't really got a long enough video to speak about how good Belotti is, but sign him and you'll see for yourself anyway. Luke Shaw, very good going forward. It really need a new right back. I mean, Darmian just isn't happy, really. No matter what happens, his happiness is always very poor. He's always considering his options. He's just a bit of a pain in the arse, to be honest. Brought in Van Dijk. Hopefully him and Laporte will be able to manage that defence with ease and hopefully win another title. Smalling is obviously a really good player as well still. But I don't really see much place for him in the team anymore, to be honest, because obviously, are we good as squad depth? But really, that defence would start with Laporte and Van Dijk next season if everything goes to plan. If not, obviously Smalling can drop back in, and I probably will look to sign a more experienced centre-back. So that was the home games. This one I didn't use at all, really. That was just an experiment tactic. This 4-4-1-1, though, I did use, and this was when I went away to the likes of Chelsea, City, Arsenal. Had a very good win, 3-2 against Arsenal in the league. So I'm keeping the defenders stay back on this one. It's very, very defensive, highly structured on the counter. Obviously, lower tempo, keep the chances limited, just keep the ball. This is all about retaining possession and just trying to play for the point. So it was maybe a bit too defensive. I probably got punished a few times using this, but I did get some very good results. And to be honest, that's probably the reason that I won the league. That I didn't just lose these games, I actually picked up points. So, you know, when it is a definite for your top four. So when you're playing City, Chelsea, Arsenal, you definitely want to use this because they'll just have too much possession because they're at home. And that's just classic Football Manager. They'll always give you the better possession when you're at home. And you want to be ready to spring. I mean, Martial and Mkhitaryan got very good pace either side. You still got Pogba. Mata's still a threat. Belotti was always... I always actually played him as an advanced forward. So he'll just kind of hang around and link the defence and midfield. He's the main point of attack, the target man. So that actually worked out very well, to be honest. The impacts up to the bench as well. Even Antonio Valencia had quite a good season. Zlatan actually ended up coming off the bench a lot because Belotti was just in such good scoring form most of the time anyway. Angel Gomez as well didn't have an amazing season. Only played 20 games-ish. Got a goal, couple of assists. Decent average rating for his age. I mean, he's only, he was 15 when the game started, so he's only 16, so there's a lot of room for development. And Herrera's a great rotation option. You could probably start him if you wanted to, but obviously just with the likes of Pogba, Coquelin, Schweinsteiger, Daley Blind, you know, he's got a lot of players to play behind. And obviously, if you're looking at him in that 10 position, you've got Mata, Mkhitaryan, Pogba can play there. So he's always going to get outstripped in terms of ability, but he's a very good rotation player anyway. Signed a few new staff. At the start of this, we didn't actually have a great staff. I don't really like to sack too many coaches, but did have to bring in some new fitness ones. There was a couple of people with 15 fitness, which just isn't good enough for a club like United. So I would recommend improving your fitness coaches, and also bring in a technical-minded coach and a few attacking-minded coaches, or of course set up your manager as the attacking-minded coach. Sorry, very unprofessional. So yeah, I will be doing a playthrough of the second season once I've done all the signings, etc. And you'll be able to find that on here maybe every day or every 2 days. So stick around, subscribe, and I'll see you again soon. I'm out.